The NRL soap opera continues with Mitchell Pearce being officially granted a release from the Roosters, Blake Green being released from Manly to sign a 3-year deal with the New Zealand Warriors, which would suggest, boys, that Mitchell Pearce is on his way to Manly.
I don't think Manly. I wouldn't think that was a good fit for him. I know he's if Kieran Foran was there, if this happened 5 years ago, he'd probably go. But I don't think he'll fit into Manly. I know Manly are probably hoping that he's going to go there, but I think Newcastle is still in the run. I think it'll suit him down to a T. I don't think he needs the Sydney bubble, so to speak, that he's been living in since he's probably been about 16. I think he needs to get out of Sydney, start afresh. Newcastle's coming up. In the next 2 or 3 years, they're definitely going to be a top 4 side. So that's probably the Nova Cashian coming at me. But I just think Newcastle would be a great fit. Brownie's a great coach. They've got plenty of money, and they've got a young side to build, and they'll build it around him.
Well, I mean, you're sitting there with a medal around your neck.
Well, this is the person who got man of the match. Anyway.
Well, there you go. So is Mitchell Pearce now going to have a choice between Manly could potentially, they've got a good side, they've done well, potentially win a comp with them and stick it up the Roosters' arse?
Does he go to 5'8"?
Or will he'd have to?
I don't understand. I mean,
Look, he's gone to America and had plenty of time to think about it. It's obviously, for me, it's a pride thing for him to move on. Paul Kent and Jonathan Thurston have come out and said that he could still learn from Cooper. That Cooper knows how to close out games. I have to agree with that comment.
I disagree. I don't think, I think he's a product of the last 10 to 12 years of Origin, Piercy, and he's getting ridiculed all the time about Origin, how he doesn't know how to close out Origin games. Most of the time, that's our pinnacle of the game, is Origin. And he's getting held accountable for all the things that he's done wrong in Origin. But club football, I think he's been one of the best club footballers in the last 10 years as a half. So I think, Paul Kent and JT, they've got every right to say what they want. I can say what I want. I don't think that he should have stayed just to learn off Cooper Cronk. I know you can evolve every single year, but I just don't think Cooper Cronk's the dude to learn it off.
I think he is for sure.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think you can learn. I mean, he's had some of the best coaches around. Andrew Johns has come around to help him. All these sort of blokes. I'm not sure if he can break some of his habits.
But it's not so much. It's off the field as well. He's a model citizen, Cooper. It's what he brings.
Yeah,
I've heard Will Chambers talk about what he learnt from Cooper for living with him for 3 years.
100% off the field. He's a model citizen.
I'm not trying to bring up Pearce's off-field dramas or anything like that.
But it does coincide with your on-field.
It coincides with your performance. Yeah, absolutely.
I just think he could learn, but I mean, at 28, 29, and pretty much the peak of your career, do you sit on the bench? Do you wait?
It's not about sitting on the bench. He would have went to 5'8". I guarantee he would have went to 5'8". And
where was Keary going to go?
Put him on the bench.
Someone had to go.
I think Pearce is a better player, and you never stop learning.
Yeah,
if you think
that's where we
for
agree
a
on that
second
bit.
that
we agree on that bit.
If you think you've mastered the game in any sport, you're an idiot.
If I was in Pearce's position, I've just had a decent year, played pretty crappy in that semi-final, and you come back and you find out you just signed the best halfback in the world.
If Roosters made the grand final, we don't have this conversation. I thought personally that he needed to stand up in that semi-final. They should never have let the Cowboys get through to that game.
He got let down by his forwards. If honestly, if the reason he's not at that club is because we lost to the Cowboys, then his forwards need to write him a letter of apology because they went nowhere. How he was supposed to play. You put
Tamalolo made more metres after contact than Dylan Napper did going forward. And Hargraves.
If that's put the nail in his coffin, well then, and I know that those forwards would be good mates with him because you don't play at a club without being good mates. You've got to take some responsibility. I agree what you're saying that Pearce could have learnt. But I just think, the way they handled it, he's been a favourite son of that club. They have looked after him in the past, and it does work both ways. But this, to me, is the death of loyalty.
It is. I just don't think he was never ever going to stay at the club, was he?
Roosters have been buying competitions for years. All right, whether you like it or not, they took Brad Fittler from Penrith. They bought Sonny in. That's what they do.
They bought Mace.
Well, they got wooden spoon when they bought him. I'm just saying they just Nick Politis wants success. If a player like Cooper Cronk comes onto the market, Nick's going to buy him. Yeah. They buy competitions.
Yeah.
I know Rooster supporters are going to hate me for saying that, but it's facts.
Yeah. It's 100%. You're 100%. You're 100% right. As soon as he was on the competition and he was going to be in Sydney, there was no other team that could afford him or was going to pay that much money for Cooper Cronk. He's 35 years old. He's still the best halfback in the world. So it is a pride thing with Nick as well. He's like, well, you're not going to get him south. West, St George Illawarra, Cronulla, anyone that could nearly afford him. He's like, you're mine and I'll try and deal with it. You didn't realise Pearce would take this hard. I don't know how he didn't think that, because if you're any sort of player with any sort of pride, you'd be filthy. And this is what's going to happen now. He's going to go to Newcastle or Manly, and that's the end.
I don't doubt Pearce's ability. I think he's a fantastic player. He's a great bloke, and I wish him all the best. And
it is a pride thing, because at 28, 29, and I was thinking, if I was a halfback, I'd probably only listen if JT come down or if Andrew Johns come down, because they're probably they're immortal players. I don't think he respects Cooper Cronk enough for him to sit there and listen to him.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think that's Pearce's mindset. He's like, why would I want to learn off Cooper Cronk? I'm Mitchell Pearce. If he wants to learn stuff off the field to be a better human being, there's other courses you can do and just act like a decent human being anyway.
And Boydie,
he is a good kid.
And Boydie sounded a bit disappointed today.
They're all pissed off.
They're all great mates with Pearcey, and they didn't expect him to leave. But now that he's made that decision,
And I hear rumours that Kiri, I mean, like they're moving Blake Green. Kiri's not happy. He's hearing rumbles. I'm hearing the Warriors want Kiri. Blake Green. Kiri could end up at Manly. They could lose both their halves through this one move.
Well, time will tell.
Always does.
So the other big move is Jared Hayne is back in the news.
Who's that?
So I don't know.
Never heard of him.
Name.
Get out of the media, Haynesy.
The rumours are that it's a done deal with Parramatta,
Wow.
and that he's just not going to tell the Titans for a couple of weeks. Cop the Gary Gash.
You know who's really over the moon with this?
Neil Henry.
Neil Henry. He's just sitting at home going, "Oh, you're such a great dude, Haynesy.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for ruining
But
my life."
hang on. In Hainesy's defence in that situation, I don't think it was just Jared.
It wasn't Hainesy. It was the whole team. He's the face of it. No one cares about what anyone else thinks, as you're saying.
The interesting thing out of all of this is Parramatta haven't said a word. And I know what Brad Arthur's like.
So sly.
BAE would nip that in the butt straight away. So,
Is this the death of the Titans? I mean, you lose your marquee player, you lose your coach, you've got a roster that probably isn't as strong as some of the other ones, and you've got a crowd of 2 men and a dog at your home games.
when they did go well, they did pull a crowd. Let's hope.
2009, 10, 11, they were in the preliminaries every
one
year.
game off a
and
grand final.
for 3 years.
Yeah.
It broke their hearts. So, and it broke the fans' heart.
It'll break the players' hearts too, because
Broke my heart.
that's a trip to the Gold Coast you don't get to have during the season. You go straight to Melbourne after the game.
Yeah, you
But,
do. I love playing up there. We always used to play on Sundays,
It's
but
the timing of it.
Shit
The timing of
Sunday
it.
sesh.
It's really. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look great.
I just can't see the time. I mean, is it time for the NRL to start looking at moving the Titans out of there and bring back the Bears? I'm sure there's.
I'm not too sure about but the whole situation now with Jared again he wants to be closer to his family. He loves Parramatta, but what led to that, I don't personally think I could say I wanted to release after the whole thing with the old fiasco with Neil Henry.
Yeah.
It's not like you're living on the other side of the world. Your daughter's only an hour away.
as you said at the start, people just put Jared Haynes' head right at the start, and it was him versus Neil Henry, and it wasn't the case because there's about 5 or 6 other players stabbing Neil Henry in the back as well. So I don't think he would be feeling bad at all if he gets a release, because he knows them young kids didn't want Neil Henry as a coach as well. So if he goes, oh well, got you guys are happy, but I'll have to face it all.
Yep.
If I'm going to go look after myself, I've got to get close to my family, and I want to play for Parra because he is Parramatta.
Yeah, he is Parramatta, and I want to see him finish his career in a blue and gold jersey. Simple as that. And the thing is about Jared, he gives 0 Fs what anyone thinks about this whole situation.
Yeah.
So if it means being happy and being close to his daughter and being back in Sydney,
At the end of the day,
good luck to him.
Sorry.
But the Gold Coast are going to
They're going to suffer.
They're going to suffer.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know whether it's going to be a performance-based thing, but the club and the sponsors, and then another bad sort of situation, bad publicity for the Gold Coast team.
Just lost Tyrone Roberts, signed
won
with
a Super
Wakefield.
League.
He is a definite first grader. So you've had to cut him because you couldn't fit him in the cap, and you didn't know where to fit him because you wanted Hainesy at fullback. Now he's gone. What do you do when Haynes goes there? I think you've got to try and bring Tyrone Roberts back because he's an NRL player.
But Hainesy hasn't said a word. So this is all speculation at the moment. He might not be going anywhere.
Well, where there's fire, there's smoke, as Willie said before. And I'll tell you what, maybe Mitchell Pearce to the Gold Coast. Get a sponsorship with Shooters, third-party deal, up you go.
Where's Shooters?
Shooters is closed these days. I just think it's a bit of a fiasco. But I just think Haynes.
Lupo.
Yeah, it's a bit of Lupe fiasco. But you see Hayne in a Parramatta jersey, it seems that he puts that extra bit of effort in because he loves that club. When he was playing with the Titans, you can see him like he was just disinterested. If he was getting sat out on the right side centre, he wouldn't come in. I don't know, he just seems to have that extra effort when he's got that blue and gold jersey on. He loves the fans. He loves to be Love Hainesy. You know, so he knows he goes back to Parramatta. It's his old stomping ground. He grew up there as a kid. He's been a club legend. He's one of their best players ever. So if he goes back there and he's happy, I'm happy.
I tell you what, if he does go back to Para, he'd want to be the best player on the field every week, just to shut everyone up.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I think he loves that jersey and he has so much pride in that jersey. He will try to be.
Well,
anyway.
he better.
He'd have
Because
to end up in the centres just about, wouldn't he?
Be fullback.
he's got to be fullback. When they lost, he's a 5'8". Gutherson, when they lost him,
Mitchell
they're
Moses.
both halves. Look, there's a spot for him no matter what, and I think fullback would be the best position for him. I think they struggled through the semis when they lost Bevan French as well, or when he did his hammy. Obviously, Gutherson was a massive loss for him. So they're looking for that replacement at fullback. Otherwise, they wouldn't be interested at all.
It's hard when you think about it. Corey Norman, Mitchell Moses, Gutherson, Hayne.
Parramatta have said nothing.
Gutherson
Gutherson
can play anywhere. He can play in the centres. He can play on the wing. He can play fullback. But
You play hooker?
don't know.
Front row?
In the back line. Sorry, I'll just new statement. He can play anywhere in the back line. But does that mean someone else has to move?
One thing
I just don't think it's guaranteed yet. I know Parramatta hasn't said anything. Neither is Hainesy. But where there is a fire, there is a smoke. All right. So I've said it before. So I think it's something's definitely going to happen. He's definitely going to be out of the Titans, whatever he does.
Oh, he's out of the Titans. There's no question.
He could go to Newcastle, 2 hours from Port Macquarie.
Wow.
Knew him. There you go.
There's an exclusive right there.
Exclusive,
Willie Weidler. Or he might go to rugby union.
Look,
He's
I
a good
think
tennis player.
I think the sooner all this is over, the better. So that teams
World
can
Cup's
get him
over.
out.
Actually, he's a good ping pong player too.
I beat him 2 sets to 1. I'm better than him.
You're better than everyone. That's why you got the gold medal.
That's right.
Gold medal for the
Well,
best
I'll let
teeth.
you wear it.
Best teeth.
I'll let you wear it.